everyone, it's Renee with Delaney Jane Cards. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Halloween video number 2. I'm going to be using this stamp set from Unity Stamp Company. It is this little girl. I've had her for a very long time, and I've colored her a few times, but almost always end up paper piecing her, and that is what I will be doing today. She also has this long pearl necklace, and I actually keep a stash of little sticky back pearls in my stash just for this image. Here I was stamping the image on the pattern papers that I'm going to be paper piecing with. This seemed like a really good idea until I went to fussy cut them. I would recommend heat embossing those images. That black ink on the black papers was really hard to see, and I did struggle. So here's my Copic coloring. Nothing really special. Couple of, I think 3 or 4 blend combinations. Nothing really significant as far as coloring goes. I did do her a little bow in oranges, and as far as her skin tone, I did use my normal go-to BV as an undertone for the shadows. I just really like how that looks. So I flicked on my colors for the hair, and her hair kind of, I don't know, confuses me a little bit. It's got that weird like bulge in the ponytail, so I colored it like it was just really fat right there, and I think it worked out fine. Now this image, when I paper piece it, I always kick myself because of that skinny little arm and hand. They're like perfectly in the image, and it's not the easiest thing to cut out. Now here for the ruffle, I wasn't too careful as far as coloring. I made sure to color it in right, but I also went over the edge of the skirt. Here I was really struggling with this. And this isn't even the hard one. This is the shoes, and I could kind of see the line. It was not very easy, but I really wanted to use these Halloween patterns. And this is some really fine, like thin paper. It is super old. It's from Muse Studio before they stopped having like in-home demonstrations. So there you can see I did the skirt, and I had planned on paper piecing this top part too, and then I was like, yeah, I'll just color that in. I did ground her a little bit with some grays before I cut her out with this Gina Marie die. I did all my die cutting off screen here, and I did die cut this tiny purple frame with a Simon Says stamp, like tiny frame. I have terrible time with that die. I love that little frame, but I always have to get my X-Acto knife out and finish cutting it. It just never cuts through, no matter if I used a plate or not. And here I used liquid glue on this pattern paper, and remember I said it was really thin pattern paper. Look at what it did. You can see the wrinkles. Well, I knew that I was going to be covering up one edge of that, so I just turned it around. Here I'm using ATG for this pattern paper because I didn't want those little wrinkles. And I was very careful to run a thin bead of glue around the edge of that and put this little frame in place. And it's like a glitter cardstock, so it's shiny and, you know, as the traditional Halloween colors, orange and purple and black. I don't know, are those traditional? So here I was just putting the little dress on. I did go around the edges with my Tombow dark gray marker. I just always use that one. I don't have the Memento marker, or whatever that everybody else uses. I just have this Tombow marker, and it's fine. So there's those pearls. Like I said, I keep them on hand specifically for this image. I would much rather put real pearls on her. It's so fun to have the texture on there. So I trimmed off the edge there to line that up with the edge of the card, and then I put the foam tape on the back. I was going to put the pearls on, and then I just decided to put the foam tape on first, and then I was deciding on what I wanted my sentiment on. I went with this black here. It's just a piece of black from my stash, and I used one of the Simon Says stamp labels. I think it's the label size to trim that out. And the stamp, the Happy Halloween, is an old Amuse Studio stamp, same place the paper is from. So I took my squishy mat out of my Misty and put that in there. And normally I would put the negative space of the die cut in there to hold it, and I should have. It was just, I don't know, kind of finicky. So here I started putting everything together. Took all the backings off of that foam tape. I am blowing through that foam tape faster than I ever thought I would. And I'm going to have to order more soon. So here I was trying to see where I needed the foam tape on the sentiment, because it was going to span that part of that little circle there, and it didn't need foam tape there, but it needed to be even all the way across. So I put that on and then trimmed off the extra. So it kind of creates a scene. You kind of feel like you're looking at wallpaper, and she's grounded. So it's kind of a visual, well, no, an optical illusion. No, I don't know, like the suggestion of a scene, I guess. So here I'm using that pokey tool to put these tiny little pearls on. I could probably use that string of pearls that's there, but I think they're bigger, so I always choose these little ones. And I think I need to order more of these. I'm hoping Stampin' Up! Still sells them. These are like one of the things I do get from Stampin' Up! These little pearls. I don't know if anybody else has these tiny little pearls like this, but they're my jam for this little girl. And then these are little tiny orange hearts. They are from, I don't even know, somebody had gifted me some crafting supplies, and they're like a confetti mix. They have hearts and, gosh, I don't even know what else in there, but there's like orange and purple and green and whatever. And I was looking for an orange embellishment, and I found these little hearts, and they were perfect. So I chose to put them up in this corner. So that brought more orange out into the main part of the card, I guess, and off of just the main image there. And then I added shimmer, of course, to the bow on the girl's head and the top of her dress and the little ruffle underneath and the shoes. And then I put it on the skirt too, because why not? If I was wearing a spiderweb dress, I'd probably want it to be shimmery. So I was channeling my inner 8-year-old, and I was adding shimmer to all the things.